wish you never sold. It has to be eBay. Shop eBay for millions of finds, each with a story. eBay, things people love.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, a chance of seeing some showers, a few scattered thunderstorms. Our temperatures this afternoon near 80. By late this afternoon and tonight, we could see some large hail, damaging winds, and a few tornadoes with a swell line's going to move through. Temperatures into the upper 50s. Now, the chance of showers and storms early on Saturday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for wine, specialty beers, and liquor, located at 12100 Highway 71 South in Fort Smith. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, you're listening to ESPN 95.3. ERX Paris, Fort Smith. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that could respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin State dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head.
What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
They were one Razorback.
Is vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man.
Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Good morning, and a quick good morning for me here on halftime as we bring you in here for what's going to be an abbreviated show on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com with baseball moved to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll have a 12:30 Learfield dugout show, and so halftime goes up until just before 12:30. I'm Phil Elson. I'm in the Baum-Walker Stadium radio booth. Matt Jones, Christian Johnston in the ESPN Arkansas headquarters today. And, guys, it is a windy Friday. You can tell. It's a good thing we're moving the game from 6 in the evening until 1 o'clock today, because at 6 in the evening there could be some hail and nasty wind, and I saw that there's a chance for even there's a threat of tornadoes. So it's a sure sign that baseball season is upon us when we're moving. We've got moving parts all throughout a weekend. So, Matt Jones, good morning to you. As I watch batting practice here, it is right field is not the place. Left field is not the place today. It is going to be an adventure while we're playing baseball. And got the Stetson Hatters in for this 4-game series because Monday's game is a 12 noon game. These 90 minutes of halftime are the only 90 minutes that I know of halftime, at least until Tuesday. So a good morning to you, my friend. How you doing?
Hey, man. Good to see you yesterday. Life is good, man. It's Friday. Got a basketball game tomorrow.
Yeah, wrap up the regular
Liverpool
season.
play at 2 o'clock today. I know your world is happy because you're like a snow globe right now. It's like you and then you shake it up and baseball started, and there's
That's
Phil
right.
Elson. So.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't have minded at all a run in Greenville for the women's basketball team. That's fun. That's a lot of fun. But you know the way the season had gone, and I feel it's not like I feel guilty about this, but when you're attached to a couple of teams, a crossover season, when one season ends, you get the optimism of the start of the next season. It's like for Chuck doing play-by-play for football. I mean, you could kind of see the direction that season was going in. So once you get into November, it's like, well, one sport might be just a little bit more fun to call right now, just based on the outcomes of these games. So, yeah, it's March is more fun when you're calling winning games. And the thing is with basketball, if you call a loss, pretty much the season's over. Wouldn't be the case tomorrow against Missouri. So, and won't be the case for baseball today either. It's a couple of notes I saw. Word that Little Rock Trojans look like they may be parting ways with Darrell Walker, who's been the head coach there for it's been 8 seasons now. you usually wouldn't report on something going on at UALR, but that's a former Razorback. That every time that the Trojans would play, even when they play baseball here, Daryl walks in the booth just to like stick his face in front of me and Bubba and look at us and get a reaction and then walk away in the middle of an inning. So that kind of came by surprise. I hadn't paid too much attention to them this year, but I see they finished 12-20. So I don't even know if they made the OVC tournament. But they're fresh off a couple good years in a row in the OVC, and Coach Walker had actually done pretty well there. So that's another thing about this time of the year, Matt. It's firing season in college basketball too.
Well, there's 68 teams get into this tournament now, and my pops being a coach, I've been around coaches my whole life. You know how 99% of your seasons end with an L. It's part of it. That's why I don't get the understanding the I don't know what you call it, but why you wouldn't value the regular season, why you wouldn't value your conference tournament. Everybody's going to lose except for one team is going to finish the season with a dub.
March can be pretty depressing, isn't it? Because there's just a lot fewer happy teams, I guess, in that case. Tomorrow against Missouri, I guess the idea of the meaning of tomorrow's game, the idea to sweep a team that you played twice, do something to help secure a top 4 seed, which I'm not sure one win necessarily does. A few of them in a row could certainly help. So you can build a little momentum, win a game. That's the other thing. It's like, Matt, we talked earlier about the idea of, trying to take your foot off the pedal for the SEC tournament. Look, you already get a week. You're going to get, less than a week. I guess they'll get 5 days before the next game. So there's time to pace yourself, building into whomever it is that you're going to play on Friday when you open up in Nashville. So that's why, maybe you monitor the minutes in a certain way, but I expect Arkansas to go in tomorrow to Mizzou Arena and do everything they can to win a basketball game, just like they normally would. Never mind that don't really think you can do much about your seeding, and you just want to go win a game. It's like you'll say, competitors want to compete. You're out there on the court. Why don't you try to win?
Well, and again, coaches, what they're preaching right now is control what you can control. So the cool thing about this job is we get to talk about all this. You don't get to talk about that as a player, as when you're at practice or when you're playing a game. Control what you can control. You can't control what a committee controls, how they look at your resume. What you can control is, getting into the gym and getting more free throws up. Getting into the film room and understanding your responsibility and your assignment. There's so many things you can control. And that's cool. We're on this side of it and we get to talk about all this stuff, but it really doesn't. None of the players are thinking about any of that. Like can't. There's not. It's just we're gonna go play a game and we're gonna go compete. And we're gonna try to win it. We're gonna control what we can control.
Right. It's like, so we're out here. Do you try to rest Darius Acuff? Do you think Acuff is worried about that?
I brought this up the other day. Was it Joe DiMaggio that was going to bat 400 and he was in a double hitter and the
Ted
Williams and the manager said, well, we're thinking about sit him, and then he went 6 for 8. It's like Darius Acuff just had 28 and 11, talking about being the first player since Pistol Pete or whoever the first player is in the SEC to lead the team in scoring and assist. You don't get that good without being a competitor. Like, that's not in your mental makeup. What's that kid in Kansas that maybe I can ask AT about that kid, but there's a first round pick in Kansas that's
Darren
telling
Peterson.
Like that to me, like being in whatever world you're in, that and they call it a red flag. Oh my goodness, that's a red flag right there.
Yeah, but that's like the other side of the whole of this Darius Acuff thing, because you got a few people here and there that are talking, well, Acuff should be the first overall pick, or some of it has to do with need, however it lines up. But it's like, you got somebody here in Kansas is Darren Peterson that whatever the reason is, apparently isn't all that interested in going out there and competing all the time, and can find whatever excuse that there is. I think Darius has had an excuse, if he's wanted it, to sit or rest or just not play because he's already made his case for wherever it is he's going to be selected. So to me, I mean, it's like it's a red flag. You got an ultimate green flag in the way that Acuff has approached this ankle, which we probably talk more about, this ankle injury than any other mild ankle injury in the history of Arkansas sports.
If you're playing that many minutes and don't have an ankle injury by now, then I'm probably kind of worried about you. That's the other thing, man. Everybody's beat up. Everybody has a back, a shoulder, a neck, an ankle. Something's going on, a knee, whatever. Like you have a little pain, and that's are you injured? Or are you hurt? We got to figure out what you got to battle. You're a warrior, and so that's all I'm saying is competitors compete, and I know. Just from an early age, it's just whatever you're doing, I'm trying to beat you at it. It doesn't matter what it is. If we're going to go grocery shopping, I'm going to get better foods at a better price than what you're going to get, and I'm going to tell you about how much better my food is than yours. It's the whole everything. We're going to take a trip. Well, you know what? I'm going to get better gas mileage than you and make better time. There's just it doesn't matter what you're doing. You're either a competitor or you're not. And I think that's one of Acuff's strongest suits is he's a competitor.
All right. Well, if you would have had a giant plate of nachos and 2 hot dogs in front of you yesterday at the Northside Gym,
he was 2% nacho after that because he only weighs 42 pounds, and so I know his 8% of his self was nacho. That was amazing.
You could see the weariness on Colton's face as he was rushing over to help us out yesterday. Colton and Christian, were kind of left to.
They're hard workers.
Try to make sure that the gates were locked somehow, but you're not sure if the lock even worked. And you could see that on Colton's face. I felt so bad for him yesterday, Matt, when he looked at us, and he's so nice. He asked us before he went across the court to the concession stand, and do you guys want a hot dog? And I thought that might have been the dumbest question I've ever seen asked to Matt Jones, and he should know better. He should have known better than that.
He was
I
being
knew a lot
nice,
better.
though. He was being nice.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. I appreciated it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, all I took that opportunity was to tell you guys about the hot dog injected fried egg that I saw made on some Facebook cooking video 2 days ago. Yeah, and then Colton sits. I'd forgotten he even went and got something. That's how quickly he ate it.
Well, he went and got nachos and a cola, and then he said, "Hey, you guys want something?" And then he comes back with 2 hot dogs, I believe. And you're like, and then you could see it on his face. It was like a gut bomb almost. You're like, yeah, that was concession food. And
yeah, I don't know why.
And he weighs 84 pounds. Like, how can you be that? That's the food you would think that they teach you, like, that's the food you eat. You probably put on. Colton can't put on weight, man. Good thing you wasn't there, yeah.
That's what happens when you literally inhale your food. That's why you have teeth. That you're supposed to chew it, and that's how it actually works its way through your body for whatever nutrition there is in a hot dog to get to your cells. But all he did was inhale it, so it went right through him. And I'd forgotten they even had that thing. Have you seen Colton today? How does he look?
He's great, chipper, smiling. Just working, loving his life. He's if we could all have his attitude when we came to work, we might be a better place.
I think he might be ready for another hot dog infused fried egg.
You know what you do on your own time is your own business. I try not to mess with too much.
I took the kids out to dinner last night, and I told them, I said, "Look at this video. Look at this thing. It's a guy who liquefied a hot dog, and put it into a syringe, and then takes an egg, cracks it, and before putting it on the pan, injects the hot dog liquid into the yolk and then cooks the egg." And Matt, this person probably should be designing the next rocket to Mars, if you think about it, because that's brilliant. I'm not, all right, I'll try it. I don't know if I like it or not. I don't want to do the beer straw hot dog like your boy the Yankee fan did. But the more I think about it, the more I might try a hot dog infused fried egg once.
What's so Pittsburgh's the Philly cheesesteak, right?
Philadelphia is the Philly cheesesteak.
But Pennsylvania, like that's the whole state.
In Pittsburgh,
would be
we put our fries on the sandwich.
You put Penn Station subs. That's kind of the first sub I ever had that was with fries on it like that, because in Arkansas you grew up with Subway, and so it was a bag of
right.
It was a bag of chips, is what came with it. I get what I'm asking is, what is it? Are you a bratwurst, or like bratwurst and onions, or are you a hot dog person? Because you're one or the other. You're not both. You don't like hot dogs and bratwurst.
I mean, I could be both.
Oh,
I'm
you're
not
both.
saying,
Yeah.
I think it depends on how I'm feeling that day, on what smells the best. I smell hot dogs here at Baum Walker Stadium, so I'm going to go with the hot dogs right now, and then if I'm in Milwaukee,
Situational. Yeah.
It's got to be situational. So I can answer it would be either or, but it's got to be situational. Just like the importance of when you get your base hits, situational. The importance of if I'm choosing hot dog or bratwurst is going to have to be situational too. Yeah.
Get some raw, fresh onions with
little
some
philosophy here.
Some fresh jalapenos and a little bit of like some horseradish mustard, and give me a bratwurst, and
Dude.
keep the hot dog to yourself.
Yeah, you're getting people out there in the hog pen pretty well. I don't know how many people are going to be lined up for it with a 1 o'clock first pitch. And is it a work day? Yeah, it's a work day for some. Which also means, since it is a work day, I got to head down and get Dave Van Horn. And here's what's halftime for this abbreviated version today, where you get Matt and Christian to take you the rest of the way. And again, no show on Monday because we got a 12 o'clock game to wrap up this 4-game weekend wraparound series at 12 noon. Aaron Torres coming up after the break, and then anything the guys want to hit on, which you can join them on the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Matt, all right, Christian, don't go on winning that contest over the weekend, okay? I'll be in touch. Thank you.
I love you. Bye.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March.
Brady Slavens sparks this team to Omaha, and the road show continues for the Arkansas Razorbacks. A 4-3 win, come from behind style in the 9th inning. The Razorbacks dogpiling on the field here in Chapel Hill with their 11th trip to the College World Series, and you can call them the Omahas.
Listen to every Razorback baseball game on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Hey everyone, Josh Earnhardt here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. Do you like doing business with local companies? Did you know that AAA Business Systems is one of only a few truly local office technology providers in Northwest Arkansas? Ask your current technology provider where their corporate office is, and let's keep your money in Northwest Arkansas. Buy local, support local. Call us today at 479-442-4185, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Lindbergh and the Lindbergh Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LindberghTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
A friend is someone who knows where you came from. Someone who always shows up when you need them. Someone who's there for the good times and the challenging ones. With comprehensive insurance policies backed by award-winning customer service, Shelter Insurance is committed to being there when you need us most.
Call Ted McAvoy in Van Buren or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
The Great American Conference Basketball Championships are coming to Fort Smith, Arkansas, March 5th through the 8th at Fort Smith Northside High School. See the best men's and women's teams in the GAC battle it out for an automatic bid into the NCAA Division II tournament. Get your tickets and more information for the Great American Conference tournament at greatamericanconference.com. It's the GAC Basketball Championships, March 5th through the 8th in Fort Smith.
What's new at the Golf Nut in 2026? A lot. New tailor-made ID4 woods, hybrids, and irons are in stock January 29th. The all-new Ping G440K driver and Ping S259 wedges also arrive January 29th. And coming soon, Callaway Quantum woods and hybrids February 13th, with irons landing February 27th. Step inside our newly remodeled retail space, check out the simulation bays, and experience our new fitting and lesson bay featuring 3 high-speed cameras filming at 120 frames per second. The Golf Nut, where your best game starts.
In sports, the tape never tells the whole story. Hiring is no different. AI can make candidates look like an MVP on paper, so knowing the person and the skills behind the resume matters. That's where Robert Half changes the game. Our recruiters combine their expertise with award-winning AI to evaluate skills and fit quickly. Learn how we can find you specialized talent in finance, accounting, technology, and more. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Achieving time, the thing they call divine, when all the stars will smile, when all that's well and real is all for all. Maybe in the meantime, when I see.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back, and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right. Happy Friday. Phil Elson gone for the rest of this abbreviated show. We got one of our favorite guests, Aaron Torres, from the West Coast, coming in today with us. Talk a little college basketball. AT, what's up, dude?
Matt Jones, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Man, life is good. It's been a joy to watch this Razorback basketball team play all year. I get a chance to do some of the post-game shows, and I've brought up many times that they're not all like this. It's not all like this watching a season and having a chance to win most of your games and having talent on the floor. That being said, how do we wrap this game? How do we wrap the regular season up with the Arkansas Razorbacks? And I think they're one of the teams. So I want to get what you think about this. I don't think they're a number one seed or just a lock for a Final Four team, but I think there's about 7 or 8 teams that could catch lightning in a bottle, and I think Arkansas is one of those teams.
Really good analysis, Matt. I think, first of all, what you led with is important, is that, and I'm sure I've said this with you guys before, but listen, as long as Coach Cal is there, you're going to have great players and you're going to have great teams, but you might not ever get another Darius A. Cup. And I've said this before, but, you know, I remember very early on in my career, John Calipari got to Kentucky, and you know, they had this kid named John Wall. And I think at the time, it was all so new. It was kind of the beginning of the one-and-done era, and I think everybody just kind of assumed there would be a John Wall every year at Kentucky, and that's not a criticism of Kentucky fans or anything like that. But there was never another John Wall. There's never anybody quite like him, and I think it's probably fair to guess that we will never see a season from a point guard at Arkansas quite like what Darius A. Cup is doing. So I hope everybody enjoys it. And to your second sentiment, I agree with you 1,000%, is I do think, and I saw a couple people, you know, kind of tweeting about this morning, I think that top four, and I do include Florida in the top four, I think they are a cut above everybody else. What I would say, because everybody asks me, what seed, this, that, how high can my team get? I'd actually rather be a little bit of a lower seeded team and avoid the 1 seed as long as possible. So in other words, listen, I'm not saying Arkansas should go out and tank the rest of the season and get a 6 seed. But, if you could somehow get to that 3 line, and I don't know if that's possible, I don't know what would have to happen. I just think that you want to stay away from those teams as long as you can, because it's not just that they're good. I think as we saw with Florida last week, they're all 4 teams that are probably going to get a 1 if you include Florida are all really big. And that creates problems for Arkansas, I think, specifically. So I could go on and on. But to your point, I agree 1,000% that this is a team that can catch lightning in a bottle in a single elimination tournament. They're going to have the best player on the floor most games. And, yes, there should be reason for excitement for Razorbacks fans getting ready for the next, hopefully, 3 to 4 weeks with this team.
And, for what you were talking about with John Wall being at Kentucky, and then you kind of think you're going to get one of those every year, this has been kind of the year of the freshmen. I mean, there's 20 different freshmen it seems like people are talking about. Not that there's not other good players out there. Besides Darius Acuff, because I know I think we're pretty similar on how we feel about Darius Acuff. Who are the top 3? Who are your top 3 freshmen not named Darius Acuff in college basketball this year?
Yeah, so I think, there's a couple obvious ones. I mean, Cam Boozer is going to win National Player of the Year. There's really not much to say. I know Arkansas fans are, not happy with maybe how he was refereed when Arkansas played them earlier in the year, but he's really good. He shows up every night, just like Darius Acuff. And I think in this Darren Peterson era, we have to appreciate that. I'll say this, AJ Devonta at BYU, I don't think anyone's been negative on AJ, but BYU, for people who don't follow it, they have had 6 season-ending injuries. And so you look at them and you say, I think they're 20-9 right now, maybe 20-10, 21-9, something like that. They were like 17-1, 16-1 at some point, and the injury bug just caught up with them. But Devonta has shown up every single night. He's basically essentially averaging close to 40 minutes a game over about the last 6 or 7 games. And we all know how this works, is that when there's injuries and the team isn't going to reach their potential, it would be easy for him to sit there and say, you know what, I got a hamstring injury. Oh, I got I got a concussion. I tweaked my ankle. And even if that's not true, just kind of sit out the rest of the season and get ready for the draft. He's done the opposite. He's actually had more put on his plate and has stepped up. And so those two, and then I know he hasn't played for a few weeks, but Caleb Wilson, I keep saying it, he's at North Carolina. First of all, he's literally doing things that no North Carolina freshman has ever done, but because there's so many other good freshmen, we don't realize it. But I think the other thing is, again, in this, Darren Peterson world where we never know what we're going to get out of him, Caleb Wilson broke his hand, finished the game, and now he is rushing back to get back before the end of the regular season. And there's speculation he may even play against Duke tomorrow, but even if he doesn't, it sounds like he'll be ready at minimum for the NCAA tournament. So I love those 3 outside of Acuff. And, I've been such a big fan of this freshman class. It's been so fun to watch all of them.
Yeah, it has, man. It's been a joy. Hey, we have kind of, Phil and I have this debate a little bit, and it's, it's regular season to conference tournament to NCAA tournament. And it seems like everybody puts all their eggs in the NCAA tournament. And I say, hey, man, You put a trophy in that case, you hang a banner, they invite your team back every 10 years. Arkansas hasn't won the SEC tournament since 2000. Why do you think is it the committee? Because if the committee came out and said we valued the last 10 games more important than we did the first 10 games of the season, then maybe they would put a little more stock in it. But how do we get that? And as a player, AT, We don't think that. This is a media narrative, because as the players, we're thinking we're winning this game, we're going 100%, but it's a lot of talk, a lot of way about it, so it's kind of weird. But how do we get back to value? And, hey, the regular season championship, the SEC tournament, the Big Ten tournament, the Big East tournament, whatever, those should mean something.
Well, I think it depends on who you talk to. I mean, I remember, this is years ago, but, me being a UConn guy, Jim Calhoun, like I remember talking to him about there was the famous 6 overtime Syracuse-UConn game. And I said, was there any part of you that, you said, we lost in 6 overtimes. It's one of the best games ever played, and let's get home and get some rest. And he said no. And Jim Calhoun took it as, the league, and it was different back then because it was much more regional. But this is our backyard. This is our neighborhood, and you want to protect your neighborhood, and you want to be the best in your neighborhood before you start worrying about everything else. The problem is I do think for these really good teams, I do think you can question, is playing 3 games in 3 days or 4 games in 4 days and then having to turn around and do it in the NCAA tournament, is that the best way to spend the week before the biggest games of the season? And maybe it's fortunate, maybe it's unfortunate, but John Calipari was kind of one of the first ones that I kind of publicly heard basically say, like, and I'll tell you this, Matt, like, I don't know how many Arkansas fans know this. It was actually a big controversy his first season at Kentucky because he basically said, listen, man, we're trying to get ready for the NCAA tournament. And the fans were actually mad. The fans plan year-round to go up to Nashville for the SEC tournament. He actually took some heat for it. So, Cal, unfortunately, is one of the guys that maybe hasn't valued the SEC tournament as much as others. I am still one that, when the ball gets tipped, you want to win. Now, I think Arkansas is obviously in a very unique situation because for them, you certainly don't want to take a terrible loss, but you want to win the games, but do you trade not playing Saturday, Sunday, or not playing Sunday for an extra day of rest when you're pretty banged up? That's only something the guys in that locker room can answer. But I'm of the Matt Jones belief that when the ball gets tipped up, when you lace up the sneakers, you're giving 100%, you're trying to win, and you worry about the next game at a later date.
I love it. What you got going on tonight to this weekend? You got any games that kind of catching your eye?
I'll tell you this, Matt. No, let's chat really quick, and I'm glad you bring it up. So I am going to be in Nashville next week, and here's the issue for Arkansas. You guys got the big problem of you don't have to play till Friday, but I bring it up because anyone who is going to be in Nashville all next week, I am throwing an event. There's a casino right outside Nashville called the Mint Kentucky Downs. It's technically on the other side of the border, but it's only about 15 minutes, 20 minutes from downtown Nashville. We're doing an event on Tuesday night, about 6 Central Time. Free food, free drinks. Anybody who's going to be in Nashville, by the way, if we have listeners in the Nashville area that just want to come down, you're more than welcome to. You don't have to be there for the SEC tournament, but people can reach out to me, Aaron Torres, podcastquestions@gmail.com. My email, is in my Twitter bio, Aaron_Torres. But that's what I'm doing. I'm flying to Nashville on Sunday. We're throwing this event on Tuesday, and then actually by the time the Razorbacks tip off on Friday, I will be back out of town. But for anybody that's going to be in Nashville early looking for something to do on Tuesday night, hit me up. We'd love to have you. It's going to be a fun event.
How cool. Yeah, man, Nashville, what a beautiful city. I hung out there.
Are you coming?
No, it's not my pay grade. They don't allow me out in the open too much. They keep me locked up, so it's better for everybody involved that way.
I think I will say it's tough to ask for the expense report for Tuesday when you don't play till Friday. I will say that. It's tough to get the expense report approved on that one. I'm not going to lie.
Hey, I love it, man. I always love our chats, man. Safe travels. Enjoy yourself, and we'll talk again next week.
No problem. Thank you guys for having me, and for everybody who is traveling to Nashville, be safe. And I guess, probably next week we'll be talking in the lead up to an Arkansas, probably a late game. I guess they would play in the evening time, but really excited, and congrats to the Hogs on getting the double bye. And now next time we talk, we'll be previewing an SEC tournament. Can't believe we're already here.
I love it. Thanks, AT. All right. Yeah, Aaron Torres, man, get over there. If you're in Nashville on Tuesday, Mint Kentucky Downs, go over there and see Aaron, and it's free drinks, free hors d'oeuvres. Let's get it. Little basketball. All right. Well, we'll be back right after this.
I can't hear you guys.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit, is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Once people tried Taco Bell's new Lux Value Menu with 10 decadent items, all $3 or less, including the new mini taco salad, an edible bowl filled with succulent seasoned beef and dressed with a lavish chipotle crema, they started expecting everything to be as Lux. You're wondering which is the mini taco salad for, aren't you? Taco Bell's new Lux Value Menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
It's back, the ultimate challenge at Lewis Automotive, and it's bigger than ever. We're on a mission to sell 600 vehicles in the month of March, no matter what it takes. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, more than $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back all month long. Get up to $20,000 off MSRP, payments starting at $199 a month, or 0% financing on select models. Find the ultimate savings, the ultimate selection, and the ultimate trade value. Only at Lewis Automotive's Ultimate Challenge.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for. Only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH25 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
When you're staring at that Sweet 16 matchup or loading up a Final Four play, MyBookie can turn a good hit into a great one. This isn't the week to sit back and wait. Head to mybookie.ag. Use promo code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and get your first bet covered up to $500. Promo code HOGS, H-O-G-S. If it misses, just activate your bet back bonus token and run it back. March only comes once a year. Bet it smart. Only at MyBookie. Must opt in during the bet to use the bet back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E. from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine, hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, rap attack Mr. Magic Molly Mall. I let my tape rock till my tape pop, smoking the bamboo, sipping on private stock. Way back when I had the red and black lumberjack with the hat to match. Remember rapping Duke? The hard, you never thought that hip hop would take it this far. Now I'm in the limelight cause I rhyme tight. Time to get paid, blow up like the world trade. Born thinner, the opposite of a winner. Remember when I used to eat sardines for dinner? Used to Ron D, Brucey B, Kid Capri, Funk Master Flex, Love Bug, Star Ski. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. Call a crib, same number, same hood. It's all good. And if you don't know, now you know.
Make sure to follow Follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
1 o'clock baseball tomorrow. It's been moved up a little bit. Impending storms. Looks like she'll be able to get the whole 4 games in. And we've got Arkansas pitching coach Matt Hobbs joining us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline today. Appreciate your time today, Matt. What's going on?
Not a whole lot. Thanks for having me on. Hey, you guys have some of the best music to bring the show back on. I don't know what that's called. The music that's right before the show gets back on the air. You guys' music's awesome.
Hey, what's on the Matt Hobbs workout playlist? What's song number 1?
Oh, okay. So I've been doing a little bit of Co Wetzel recently. I like him. I really like Ryan Bingham, and then the Turnpike Troubadours are another fave. And then, depending on what I'm lifting, Thorn also gets in there.
A little corn, that's right. That's when the workout's reaching its apex. That's when you need to run your fastest on the treadmill, right?
There you go. That's
very good. You didn't have walkout music when you were playing, did you? Did you?
Yeah.
They did? Yeah.
AC/DC. No one was there to listen to it, but yeah, we had it. Yeah, AC/DC.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of the song, but it was definitely AC. I like AC/DC too. I just don't listen to it as much as I would like.
Hey, Matt Hobbs is always up to date on what's going on with the other sports at Arkansas. I talk to him about men's basketball, women's basketball in the dugout sometimes. Yesterday was an historic day, Matt, for Arkansas athletics. There's the patch from Tyson, but I think at top of people's minds really is the statue for Nolan Richardson. And I think you've been around campus since 2019, so I think you really have a sense of what that means.
Yeah, it's huge. Obviously, there's a lot of things that happened yesterday. With the patch and the Tyson partnership, with obviously the statue for Coach Richardson, and then losing Coach Holtz also. Now, there's a lot of things that happened in Arkansas sports yesterday. I'll touch on the statue for Coach Richardson, though. I mean, I think that Hunter Yurchek said it when he was introducing him. He changed the standard for basketball in the state of Arkansas and also for the University of Arkansas. And I hope that goes without saying. But he's a guy that we talk about in the office often. It's like you want your players to play as hard as his players did. You want his teams to be as tough as his teams were, and you ultimately want your teams to be successful as his teams were. And when you're talking about coaches at the University of Arkansas, Nolan Richardson, Norm DeBryant, Dave Van Horn, a lot of the guys in the track programs also have been phenomenal here. And, there's a long list of them, too, that I didn't mention, but I think that the recognition is probably long overdue. I know there's some mechanics that go into that, to being able to get something like that taken care of. A statue is not something that you just build willy-nilly. There has to be a lot of things that go into that. I know people have been working on that for a while, but what a great honor for him, and then what a great reminder for the rest of us about what it's supposed to look like.
In terms of the jersey patch and this partnership with Tyson, I mean, the partnership with Tyson goes so deep at Arkansas. I think for so many of the programs, and I know Camden Kojal was putting the baseball uniform on display yesterday during the basketball game. What's your understanding of what that means for the athletes? Because you guys, meaning the coaches, you're the ones that are scouting the players. They're saying these are the ones I want to bring to campus here. You're the ones in a lot of cases that are negotiating what it is that they may make. So, I mean, this impacts you just as much as it does anybody else.
Yeah, I think that anytime somebody is willing to step up like that Tyson has, that's definitely going to help in recruiting. It's definitely going to help the lives of the student athletes be a little bit easier financially, certainly. Again, I don't know the distributions on all these things yet. We haven't gotten to the nuts and bolts of exactly what this thing looks like for every sport. I do know that they're fairly adamant that they wanted all 19 sports to be helped out, I think. I mean, I think I read that somewhere, heard that somewhere, and that's pretty big. That's a pretty big statement. I think when people see these things, they think it's just going to help one sport or two sports, and I don't feel like that was the impetus behind this move by the university. So, kudos to them for getting that done. And then obviously I think it's really going to help the players. And, hopefully indirectly that helps us land a couple more players. That helps us get another guy or be able to fund another athlete to be able to get them to, come to the university and be able to beat some teams in some recruiting battles that, these are the ways you have to win it now, unfortunately. But unfortunately for us, but fortunately for the kids, right? This is one of the things that they get to now use in weighing their decisions. And whenever you have more of something, whether it's scholarship money or facilities or whatever, it definitely helps the recruiting part of it.
So the Hogs play tomorrow against Stetson. They'll enter with a 10-3 record. The pitching staff has been outstanding. Just looking at some of the numbers, 276 earned run average, 190 batting average allowed, a less than one base runner per inning. You get the nation's fourth best whip, third best strikeout to walk ratio. So I would say you couldn't ask for much more from your pitchers. But I guess there's still a couple of roles that you're wondering about right now.
Yeah, I think that you got to figure out exactly what the end of the game looks like and how we're going to use Gibbler. That's still a little bit up in the air. He's finishing after Gabe right now, but that doesn't mean that stays that way the whole year. He's certainly very qualified to do the role to finish the last 3 to 6 to 9 to 12 outs of the game. But you're going to need somebody else to do it if he throws a huge chunk on Friday. So you like some of the other options. The Steele's been really good. Ethan McElvain's been unbelievable. Mark Bristie's been really, really good. Tate McGuire, Parker Coyle, getting Jackson Kircher back on the mound after some sickness and some, he was probably the sickest of all of the sick guys, or at least close to it. So he took a little more time getting him out there. And then we got to get Cooper Dossett going, which would give us a little bit more at the end. And then, using some of these freshmen, like Joey the other day and Jordan Martin the other day, gives you a little bit more depth. And then James DeCramer's role is still kind of like a little bit of everything. So I think that's the one for me is just, if it's not Cole, who is it at the end? I like the rotation with Gabe and Hunt and Fish, obviously doing a nice job there. Everybody, they're all doing good. Fish has been outstanding, and Hunter and Gabe have been good. So we would like everybody to be outstanding all the time, right? That's what everybody wants, but that's not always the way it plays out. So as long as they can continue to pitch well and give us a chance to win, I think that's what you want out of your starting pitching. But I would like to be a little more sure at the end, though. I think that's the one thing. Just because of the way we're using Cole, I don't know if that's going to be the way it is all season. If we have to maybe shift him to the rotation at some point, maybe, I don't know. Or we just use him like a traditional closer, and then we have some of these other guys set up. I think that's probably the biggest question mark right now. I'm good about how we can get to the end. I just don't know exactly who's the one throwing the end, and maybe it's by committee. I mean, kind of what we did a little bit last year until Gabe and Cole took it over at the end.
In terms of the rotation, just from what we saw last weekend, Dietz, that was as good as somebody can pitch sometimes. I mean, he was really good. Fish has obviously been great for all three starts. It takes some of the pressure off of Gabe to go out and feel like you got to be Mr. Friday night guy, because you're still waiting, I guess, for one of those starts. You and David told me it's time for Hunter to go have one of those starts. Well, he did. Is it time for Gackle to go and have one of those starts?
Yeah, it's time for him to put together a couple of those starts, if I'm being honest. If if you go game one, that's part of your job, is to go out there and throw 7 innings and punch out 8 and give your team a chance to not only win, but put them in a commanding position when you leave the game. That's your job, part of your job. The other part of your job is to do exactly what he has been doing, which is pitch well. And I think that nobody wants to have one of those starts more than Gabe, right? You can tell it's been kind of uneven, even though it's been good. And I think that we all kind of feel that way. It's been very good. He's pitched very well. He's doing his job, getting us into the game, but he's good enough to take the game over, just like Hunt did last weekend. And it was time for Hunter to have one of those starts where it was just, you go out and dominate. And if you watch the film back, it's like, can't pitch much better than that. So hopefully that continues. But for Gabe, it's really just about, and it's not about not trying to do too much, and it's not about whether or not he's a Friday starter and all of the things around there about him, and it's just about going and pitching good. And this is exactly what happened last year, except he's a little bit better this year. He just came out a little not himself, a little flat almost, even though he's pitching well. And again, I'm critical of him because I know how good he is, and I know he's the same. So I'm not saying anything on this this show that I haven't said to him. But it's time to go do it. And I think that he expects that of himself. We certainly hold him to a very high standard, and I know that the expectations are that he goes out and never gives up a hit, but he has to go out and pitch like a SEC Friday guy for the Razorbacks, and he's got a chance to watch some really good ones. So it's time to go do that.
Matt, a couple people texted in asking about Carson Wiggins and how he's coming along, and I was so surprised when there's two publications that list him preseason All-America. You know, Dave, like the Swatters Club says he's throwing bullpens now. Is he ahead of schedule?
I don't know if he's ahead of schedule. He's on schedule. These bullpens that he's throwing right now are what you throw when you're rehabbing from Tommy John. So he's throwing bullpens, and I'm not going to dance around the subject either. He's been phenomenal, like as good as I've ever seen him. The velocity obviously is to come all the way back, and that hasn't happened yet, but it shouldn't happen at this point. And he's dynamic. He's just got a really good arm. And I was watching him throw the other day, and I was talking to somebody, and I was like, what is it that I do that looks as easy as him throwing a baseball? And I couldn't come up with anything. There's nothing I do in my life that looks that easy. It just comes out of his hand good. It's, the fastball and the split are really good right now. He'll add in a breaking ball, I believe. I think it's next week, and then he's probably facing hitters and some kind of stimulation in the next 6 to 7 weeks, I think, is about what the plan is. But, I mean, those obviously fluctuate with how he feels, and luckily, knock on wood, it's been good so far.
Quick question. Stephen Fort Smith asks, when you make a mound visit, is it on your own decision, or does Dave sometimes have to say, get out there and talk to him, like we football managers and head coaches say?
He's in the past, he's kind of been like, hey, man, you need to go now. When we first got together in the first couple of years, I'm kind of one of those guys that likes to let my guys figure it out. But when it's time to change the mojo of what's going on or slow a guy down, or if you can just really see him swimming in his own head a little bit, you want to get out there. So I would say I make 90% of those calls in terms of visiting the mound, and he gives me a push out the door on the other 10.
Sounds good. 90% is a number that we've been hearing a lot the last couple of days. Matt, we'll leave it there. I appreciate you. Looking forward to the weekend series against Stetson, and see you in the dugout tomorrow.
Sounds good, Phil. Thank you. Appreciate you guys having me on. Love your show.
Hey, if you go to Arkansas, you're going to win and you're going to play in big games. Said nobody. When is the last time Arkansas football played in a big game that meant anything?
This is halftime.
Stay warm and dry this winter with Byrne and Carhartt winter workwear. Muck, dry shod, and extra tough rubber footwear to keep those toes dry. Winter clearance racks are full of casual and hunting clothing at 50% off. A select group of Western boots now 50% off. Crappie season is coming, and fishing gear is arriving daily. Jelco Outdoors. Work, hunt, fish. That's what we do. Jelco Outdoors. 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Winter has arrived, bringing frosty mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Got a confession to make. I'm on my phone way too much, and most of the time, it's a waste. Hey, it's Ty Richardson for JamMart gas stations and convenience stores. There are some apps that are worth your time, such as the JamMart Rewards app. It includes top deals, the latest promotions, plus rewards that keep you coming back. Anytime I stop by the pump or register, my loyalty number is being utilized. Keeping up with my points and offers is easy. Download the JamMart Rewards app today in the iTunes or Google Play Store. JamMart, the leading gas station and convenience stores in Arkansas.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Limbird and the Limbird Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
Dental emergencies do not wait, and neither should you. At Valley Urgent Dental, they're here for you on the weekends, whether it's a broken tooth, a painful infection, or a crown that's come loose. Dr. Kendall Roberts and Dr. Doug Terry are ready to help. Why wait till Monday? Call 479-235-5655 now. Valley Urgent Dental is located at 5505 Uper Lane behind Golden Corral in Fort Smith. Valley Urgent Dental, emergency dental care when you need it most.
Has your spouse suddenly entered the transfer portal, going from a franchise player to a prima donna ready to take the money and run? Don't let her get away with a huge buyout. Be proactive. Call Mock Legal Solutions today to ask about custody, alimony, and child support. 479-769-1505. Because even in divorce, the best offense is a good defense. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
I think we should start seeing people.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March.
All right, halftime moving right along on this beautiful Friday. Game day Friday, baseball team getting it going on. Got Missouri to finish the regular season basketball. 17-1 at home this year. Get a chance to 2-seed or 3-seed going into the SEC tournament. We're going to talk a little SEC basketball at the top of the hour. Stick around. We'll be back after this.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time every time.
We're keeping Arkansas beautiful. Want to lend a hand? Don't be afraid to get them dirty. Every day, volunteers around the state are picking up litter, planting trees and wildflowers, recycling, and more. You know what these volunteers need most? Help. Volunteer today at KeepArkansasBeautiful.com. Learn more about all our programs. A message brought to you by the Keep Arkansas Beautiful Commission, this station, and the Arkansas Broadcasters Association.
Doe's Eat Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Doe's Eat Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, a chance of seeing some showers, a few scattered thunderstorms. Our temperatures this afternoon near 80. By late this afternoon and tonight, we could see some large hail, damaging wind, and a few tornadoes with a squall length going to move through. Temperatures into the upper 50s. Now, the chance of showers and storms early on Saturday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for wine, specialty beers, and liquor, located at 12100 Highway 71 South in Fort Smith. KERX Paris, Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that could respect you.
Live from the Busch Lights Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it. We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
One Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Caller text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Ooh, all right. Back halftime here. Moving right along. Got a couple segments left. Happy birthday, Miss Betty.
Yes.
Super cool. Got some cheeseburger and fries here today from Arts Barbecue. Local spot here in Fort Smith. Get out there, check them out. That's a good heaping of fries right there. I got a cheeseburger and fries, which is amazing. What'd you get, Unit?
I got the mac and cheese burger, and then I got some green beans.
Fancy. Well, let's we only have a couple segments here, and we do have a phone caller, so let's get to the phone calls. If you want to get in with us, 877-377-6963 here on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. And one of our favorites, the Tuna.
Yo, Tuna.
Yo, what's up, fellas?
Yo.
Man, what's crazy about this is I just told my coworker I am like dying over here. I am so hungry, thirsty, and the tuna is flat broke over here, Matt. So he's trying to bribe his way to something, and y'all are eating this wonderful food in my ear. So I'm just gonna.
I'd split my burger with you if you were here, Tuna. I'm sorry,
man. Man, Matt, you know you could eat man. You know you can't be splitting no burger, man. How big is those burgers?
We can't have you going hungry though, man. You got to take care of our callers.
Hey, man, it is what it is. You know, sometimes things happen, but How y'all doing today? How's it going? I did hear something, Matt. A buddy of mine from college, he said he met y'all yesterday. He goes, I know that was Matt Jones. I said, yeah, that was Matt Jones. The real one. 'Cause he told me that he told y'all he went to college. And I'm glad he didn't embarrass me, though. I hope Phil didn't try to pry him of any embarrassing stories, because there are a few. But anyways, as far as this goes, Matt, you remember back when the SEC basketball, we started, can this team get a top 4 seed? Well, check that off, and that's what they've done. I think they'll finish third. I think Bama will take care of business tomorrow. How many, you guys were just talking about, y'all are about to bring all this up, how many teams, if y'all had to guess right now, are coming out of this conference and are going to make the tournament? And I know it could change depending on how the SEC tournament goes. If someone went on a run and won the thing, how many are, I guess, guaranteed in right now, Matt, if you looked at the standings? And I'm going to go
10.
about 8 or
I think 10 are guaranteed in right now.
I think 10 are guaranteed. Let me ask this about, because Kentucky, are you including Kentucky in that?
I'm including any team that has a 9-8 record right now. So at worst, they're going to be 500. I think you go 500 in the SEC. That's kind of like the old Big East. If you could get to 8-8 or 9-9. So Texas, they're 9-8. Georgia's 9-8. Then Kentucky's 10-7. A&M going so forth. So yes, I got Texas, starting Texas all the way up. I think those 10 teams are locks right now.
I'm with you. Okay. And I think Georgia kind of put themselves in for sure.
That was a big win for them. Yeah.
Yeah, over Bama. So, yeah, I'm with you. But I want to ask you this. So a lot of people have talked about, if you think about the whole tournament in general, I do think this year, I do think it'll be different from this standpoint. Last year, like all 4 number 1 seeds advanced to the Final Four. Now, when I feel it's going to depend on the bracket and the matchups and all that, but I don't think it's going to be as easy to mark all 4 number 1 seeds into the Final Four this year. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, Matt. I don't think that's going to happen this year. I think there's going to be maybe 2 of them.
I agree with you. It's all 4 got it last year. It'd be tough again. I think if all four number 1s make it this year.
And the reason I say that is because I don't think this year I think there's more teams that can win it, and I think there's a few 2 and 3 seeds that could jump in there and win it. I mean, Florida is on the 2 line, correct, right now? I mean, probably at the top of it, but I mean, that is one team that they're going to be.
If they win the SEC tournament, I have them as a 1 seed because that means they're regular season champs and they're tournament champs. I think they would slip up and get somehow like. I know Duke is ACC. What's Arizona? Are they still Pac-12? Michigan's Big Ten. What's UConn? Big East.
They would take UConn's place, I would think. Even though UConn beat them head-to-head this year.
But what I mean is, if all 4 of those teams win their regular season title, then won their conference tournament, that could keep Florida out. I just think there's one of those leagues that, man, you got to reward that.
Somebody ain't gonna win it.
That's right.
Somebody ain't gonna win it from one of those leagues, the conference tournament. So yeah. I'm with you, and if Florida wins it, I think they would probably sneak in there. But, yeah, still, a UConn as a 2-seed or whoever. I mean, yeah, and that's the thing with this Arkansas team. It's just that's what it's going to depend on with them. But you did say it yesterday, Matt, this team, they can write their own story. At the end of the day, they know their deficiencies, and at the end of the day, there's no team out there that I look at and go, they're perfect, but there are teams that are closer to perfect than we are, in my opinion. Duke is just they're unbelievable. Florida's unbelievable, but in this tournament, any given day, I'm really hoping. What I hope, guys, as we get here, as I'm going to get off here, but with DJ, I hope he continues to play well. I think and obviously we know TB is like when he plays well, and it ain't just about scoring, but when he plays well, this team has a chance. And for Pringle and Ewing, if they can just give us enough, and I'm not talking about points or all that stuff. I'm talking about finding a way to stay in the game, impact the game, rebound and stuff like that. We can make a run. That's the way I look at it. But anyways, y'all enjoy those burgers, and I'll just stay over here and starve. But
I hope you find food, Charlie. Don't starve
That
yourself.
sounds horrible, guys. Anyways, y'all have a good one, man.
The tuna always appreciate. He's the survivor. He'll be all right.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts, unit? Duke, ACC, Arizona, Big 12. Thank you. I can't keep up with half these teams. Once the Stanford's in the ACC, I kind of threw me off. But so Michigan, Big 10, UConn, Big East. Is there still a Big East? Conference going on.
Yeah, you got
that could
UConn,
keep Florida out.
St. John's.
Yeah, because but if one of those teams, I mean, you got there two losses. That's the other question is, what's the amount of losses that when you start discounting them, like, how many? When's the last time a team with 8 or more regular season losses won the NCAA tournament?
I think
does that happen more
than
often?
5.
Yeah, so once you're about 5, that's when you're kind of like, that you have some deficiencies.
Yeah, if you got 6 or more losses, I think it's hard to make a case for a 1 seed. But Florida's a little different. They had a hard non-conference. They're playing a lot better than they did earlier in the season, and they've got
They're the defending
national
champs.
championship.
That's what I mean. The defending champs, if they win their conference and win the conference tournament, I'd have them as a 1 seed. Miami of Ohio. Have you seen this team play? I wonder. I'd like to know somebody who has seen this team play because they have more votes than the Arkansas Razorbacks in the poll right now. They're ranked ahead of Arkansas. My question is, if Arkansas played Miami of Ohio, who you taking?
I'm taking Arkansas.
That's what I'm thinking. I know they're 29-0, haven't lost yet, but if Arkansas has to play Miami of Ohio, I think I would go the Hogs as well.
The only way a team like that's going to usually beat you, even though Arkansas does have some deficiencies down low, you're going to be more athletic than them. Obviously, you can't let a team like that get hot from the three-point line. That's really the only pathway for a team like that to really beat you. I mean, how many teams like a Miami, Ohio, could you say that, man, they just dominated the paint against us? It doesn't happen very often. They usually have to have one of their best shooting performances. And I haven't watched Miami, Ohio, but I know they've won a ton of close games. It's remarkable how many 2-point, 1-point wins they've got this year. Man, a team like that, you really don't know how good they are. I think until you get into that, first round, second round, then you're like, man, maybe they are for real,
You want to see them play some athletes. Well, we're going to try to have a 1-point, maybe even a 2-point win right here, go pay some bills. And if you want to get in with us, 877-377-6963. Last segment coming up.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March.
Stay warm and dry this winter with Byrne and Carhartt winter workwear. Muck, dry shod, and extra tough rubber footwear to keep those toes dry. Winter clearance racks are full of casual and hunting clothing at 50% off. A select group of Western boots now 50% off. Crappie season is coming and fishing gear is arriving daily. Jelco Outdoors. Work, hunt, fish. That's what we do. Jelco Outdoors. 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
I've got a confession to make. I'm on my phone way too much, and most of the time, it's a waste. Hey, it's Ty Richardson for JamMart gas stations and convenience stores. There are some apps that are worth your time, such as the JamMart Rewards app. It includes top deals, the latest promotions, plus rewards that keep you coming back. Anytime I stop by the pump or register, my loyalty number is being utilized. Keeping up with my points and offers is easy. Download the JamMart Rewards app today in the iTunes or Google Play Store. JamMart, the leading gas station and convenience stores in Arkansas.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Limbird and the Limbird Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours Or you can use Terra's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust a team that delivers results. Go to LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Winter has arrived, bringing frosty mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Has your spouse suddenly entered the transfer portal, going from a franchise player to a prima donna ready to take the money and run? Don't let her get away with a huge buyout. Be proactive. Call Mock Legal Solutions today to ask about custody, alimony, and child support. 479-769-1505. Because even in divorce, the best offense is a good defense. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
I think we should start seeing other people.
Dental emergencies do not wait, and neither should you. At Valley Urgent Dental, they're here for you on the weekends, whether it's a broken tooth, a painful infection, or a crown that's come loose. Dr. Kendall Roberts and Dr. Doug Terry are ready to help. Why wait till Monday? Call 479-235-5655 now. Valley Urgent Dental is located at 5505 Uper Lane behind Golden Corral in Fort Smith. Valley Urgent Dental, emergency dental care when you need it most.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March.
Talking away. I don't know what to say. I'll say it anyway. Today's another day to find you shine away. Oh, come we love okay. Take on. Hey.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right. 9 minutes left, and then first pitch today at 1 o'clock. Phil Elson back at his home, his sanctuary, calling a baseball game. So everybody, I know they're looking forward to that. No TV game today, huh? So you gotta tune in if you're not there and listen to Phil and Bubba talk about it. What's our you know what our baseball record is this year?
We're 10-3.
Oh man, everybody! It's like we get people talking. I've seen them play zero baseball, but everybody acts like the sky's falling down, and we're 10-3.
I think it's because we've never lost this many games in this early in the season, but you're still 10-3. Like, I mean,
10-3 is pretty good. It's a brand new team. You lost the best player in college baseball last year, right? Wasn't Behiva Aloy a top 4 baseball player?
Yeah, I mean,
you lose that. That's what I mean. You're going to have a little bit of a downtick right there.
Yeah, but hopefully all the flu and all that stuff is out of the system, and we can just play ball now. This team I think is starting to put it together a little bit. The competition, not the greatest, but next series is you open up with Mississippi State and they're playing good baseball, so get all the kinks worked out. Yep.
It is a sunny afternoon, and we can go with the Kinks anytime you want to. I do think the SEC is one of the toughest baseball leagues, if not the toughest baseball conference. So that'd be cool. I try to go to 1 or 2 games a year, check them out. So that'd be fun. But let's go back to a little basketball talk. Unit Razorbacks wrapping up the final game of the season. Give me a grade. I think they're going to win. I think they beat Missouri, but I don't even want to speak the other into existence, but I think they beat Missouri. Give me a grade what you think Arkansas being 22-8 going into the SEC tournament. That's like an A-, right?
Yeah.
Or is it B? I don't what no back-to-back losses. I think
I'll take that every year.
We didn't win, so it's hard to say it's an A, but man, it's B+, A-, right all over it.
Yeah, Arkansas usually for one, I don't think Arkansas gets upset in March very often. So you come in at 22-8, you're going to have a pretty good seed. You're going to play, you're probably going to be better than the first couple teams you play. And then Arkansas, just the way they play in March, they usually don't get run off the floor very often. Usually they got a chance to win. And I like this team. I like this team is built for March, and I believe that. Cal also said that, but it's just we've seen them play really well this year, and sometimes they don't meet meet expectations in some games. But I think once you get to March and every game matters, and you can't afford to take a day off, so to speak, I think this team will play really well. And
favorite,
I wouldn't want to play them.
Yeah, they're going to be a tough out. Favorite moment of the season or the regular season? Was it beating Louisville at home? Was it just Texas the other day on senior night with the Nolan Richardson statue? A-Cup and Brazil going for 28 apiece. What's your favorite? Was it beating Texas Tech?
Beating Texas Tech to me felt
was a big win.
Looking back on it now, it may be our biggest win of the year. Texas Tech, they lost JT Toppin. Still going to be a tough out, I believe, in the tournament. Not the same team. You don't have to worry about that guy down low. So honestly, if Arkansas were to face Texas Tech, I wouldn't just say that's a win, but I would like their chances in March because he's really, their whole offense kind of moves through him, but they do have some 3-point shooters. They do have some other good bigs as well. But that to me, that Texas Tech win, that really kind of solidified, I think, Arkansas as a dark horse type of team that can make a Final Four. You lose that game, then you really don't. Your non-conference resume isn't really
not a lot of
that impressive, really.
Not a lot of bad losses, Unit. People like to point to the Auburn loss, and I like to point to the fact that Auburn lost their best player, so their best player was playing against us then, not now. So going forward, Auburn's record, they would be a tournament team. If we lost Darius A-Cup 20 games ago, it'd be a totally different team. I like Wagner. Wagner's my favorite player. Just because he's my favorite player doesn't mean he's the best player. Wagner's my favorite player. He could lead us to some wins, but, A-Cuff's kind of next level.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what he does in March on that stage because I think big players, big-time players usually step up on the big stage, and we really haven't seen him, other than the Alabama game, we haven't really seen him have to completely the Oklahoma game, I think, and the Ole Miss game. I'll take that back. But, in March, sometimes you need his A+, you'll need his A+ performance to win a game. You may not get by with just 15 points from him. You'll need other players to step up like Billy Richmond, and I just don't know you can count on that every night from him. But when you got guys like Trevin Brazile who's scoring Richmond doesn't have to score as much. So, I think Trevin Brazile is a guy that we're going to need him hitting threes because that's his game. I mean,
he's got a
that's
good shot.
His game. His game is shooting 3-pointers, and he can pump fake and get to the hole, which I like that in his game a lot.
That is his move. That would be if you said what's the one move besides just jumping over people. But his basketball move is the pump fake, one dribble, 2 steps, dunk from the 3-point line. That's everybody can't do that, and that's a really good move to have. I'm with you. Brazil's going to have to do his, but the whole team. It's collective. It's
right.
It's not just on one player. But Brazil's very important. Man, he's been a fun man. That to me, we got to vote for Tennessee to when we open the SEC regular season play. It's been a while since we won an opener. I'm with you. That was a big time. Kind of set the tone.
It was
senior day. Brazil's he's been a little inconsistent, but man, when he's on, there's nobody like him, and that's kind of the joy. That's kind of what makes you think lightning in a bottle. You kind of think, man, if Brazil catches it just right and goes on one of these 4 or 5 game stretches, who's to say Acuff in Brazil with having Malik Thomas and Billy Richmond as your other pieces and Wagner, Malik Ewing, Pringle, that's not a good enough squad to make a run? I think it is. Yeah. It's kind of, you gotta hope.
It's all about hitting shots. I mean, really, because this team's going to take a lot of 3-point. Well, I feel like everybody on this team can shoot a 3, obviously except Ewan and Pringle, but
wide open. You feel
shots.
Confident if they're wide open, nobody by you. Billy Richmond. That's the thing. Richmond shoots it with confidence, but he doesn't just jack them up. He doesn't just force a 3, but when he's wide open, nobody's around him, man, shoot that thing, dude. Like shoot the ball when you're open.
I'm excited. I mean, I feel like it's going to take some luck, and that's kind of what in March, that's what happens, right? You may have to have some luck here and there, but no, I'm excited. I think Arkansas is going to shock some people. I mean, they're due they upset somebody once a year in the tournament at least.
That's right. Arkansas, Missouri tomorrow. Arkansas baseball getting underway here in about 35 minutes. So stay tuned. Check them out. Go Hogs. We'll see you. Halftime, I'll see you on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see you around.